Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Aries February 2023 weekly illumination reading. Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So you'll have to forgive me. My voice is still a little hoarse from being sick over the previous week. I tried to give it a rest yesterday. I actually went to a beautiful yoga retreat. And to make use of the energy of the full moon in Leo, but it's still kind of bugging me. But I think we can make it through this reading. So we're going to be taking a look, Aries, at the week ahead for you. We're going to be looking at what you're bringing to the week. We're going to be looking at what's going on around you. And then we're going to be identifying a block or a challenge and then an opportunity that wants to come in. So we'll dive here into kind of getting the baseline for your reading. Now, the Lovers and the Ten of Wands has just come up as your internal energy. Now, this can be that feeling of what we love may feel like a burden. The Ten of Wands is where we are kind of carrying the load ourselves, and we may feel like we don't have any help. But the beauty of the 10 is that it's one step. It is the final step in the 10 card progression with the wand energy. So it denotes an ending to a period of time where you felt like you had to kind of bear the burden yourself, and you get to put it down and you get to pick up just one wand, the one thing you've learned that you're passionate about, and you get to move forward into a brand new cycle, which is beautiful. Now, you may feel like, yeah, there is something in your experience that is, that may be something that you loved. This could be a person, it could be a hobby, it could be a career path that you've had to carry it a long way, that maybe you were the one supporting this. Maybe you were the one that had a business and you had to do all the work. Or maybe in your relationship, you were the one that always had to kind of push to kind of drag the relationship forward. And, hold on just a moment, guys. I'm going to actually blow this out. Ooh. I got this beautiful gift at that yoga retreat, which is actually a votive to be able to burn this fresh sage in there, which is so wonderful. One of my favorite scents. But I'll put this back in. But I also don't want to have a raging fire here in the middle of your reading, which would make sense, Aries. You are that cardinal fire sign. So maybe this is truly your energy kind of just coming through, because we have the Ace of Swords right here. Beautiful clarity. This is really understanding. There could be a truth coming in. There could be clarity around a personal truth, but there's also just this clarity in general coming through. I think that's going to allow you, for many of you, to see where a burden you've been carrying for a long time can finally be put to rest. Now, looking at your past energy, we have the Five of Swords, we have the Six of Cups, and we have the Nine of Cups as your present energy. Now, it looks like you've kind of gone from a place of the Five of Cups is where we're trying to, it's kind of like that winning at all costs, where we're going to just kind of keep saying our same perspective, sharing our opinion in the same way. We don't want to hear anybody else's opinion. We don't want to, somebody might be coming up and saying, hey, there might be an easier way to do something, or hey, maybe it's time to get out of that relationship, or hey, maybe it's time to stop working so many hours. And you're like, no, it has to be this way. No, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't want to hear it. And then we have the Six of Cups that comes in, which is beautiful. This is a return to the past. Return to the past version of yourself. It can be even making peace with the past, that maybe in a moment of reflection, you realize, you know what? Maybe somebody was right here. Maybe I don't have to carry that forward. Maybe I forgot what I used to emotionally connect to. I forgot about that time in my life when I could just write for the sake of writing, or I wanted a different dream for myself. And I think for many of you bringing this forward now with this beautiful Nine of Cups energy, which is being grateful for all that you have to be grateful for presently. This denotes quite a bit of that. But it also speaks to making that one final wish for, he has one cup to go before he gets to the full true 10 of Cups, which is the happy family card. It's getting to touch on an emotional plane what it would feel like to live in your version of heaven on earth. And so there's a clarity here, I think, where There's been something you have kind of pushed aside for a long time that you didn't want to see. And now you get a chance to really realize, you know what? I've been carrying a burden for a long time. And now it's time for me to put that down, because in order for you to really lean into this wish, and I think this wish came from something from the past, whether it was a past hobby you had, again, a past dream you had for yourself, for your future self. It could even be just revisiting a time in your life when things were easier and realizing, I want to bring that forward now. So we're going to see here. I'm going to pull some cards. I'm working with my Illuminated deck this week just to kind of bring in that, pull forward that illumination from the full moon. I do love this deck. It may not be as bright and colorful as the other ones, but I do love the imagery. I love that it also is very reflective. It's very pretty. It's gilded. Okay, so we have the King of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Moon. Now, the King of Cups is your main point of challenge, your main block this week. And this is really where we get into, now, for some of you, I'm just going to say this, if this is a personal reading, the King of Cups can denote a scorpionic energy. So this could be a Scorpio in your life, or an individual who really speaks to that kind of really heavy emotional energy. They come from that place at all times. And with the Ace of Cups coming in on the other side, you may be struggling a little bit to rekindle a love for that individual in your life, especially with the Six of Cups coming in, and it's hard. You might wish to rekindle this, and there is that opportunity to do so as I see it coming in here. So if there is something around an individual in your life that is coming back, or that you've long kind of felt challenged by, you do have the opportunity for a fresh connection. But for those of you who that is not your personal story, this can denote getting to that place of emotional maturity and integrity, meaning that you are not run by your emotions. You don't let parts of yourself kind of get out of control. You honor what's in your cup, which are your needs, your dreams, your hopes, and you hold it proudly, and you bear the burden of meeting those needs and creating those dreams, following those dreams from a place of responsibility, because that's what the kings speak to in the tarot. They are responsible for their kingdoms, and they choose to, that's actually why they're represented by the fixed signs in the Zodiac. So that's why this harnesses the energy of Scorpio, which is a fixed water sign. So he is very fixed in his emotions. And many of you are being challenged now to get to this place of being fixed in your emotions, of honoring your emotions, letting them come up, not pushing them away, and that could be what was happening here for a long time with the Five of Swords. You might have been pushing your feelings away, not honoring what you were truly feeling, and then just feeling like, well, I have to bear the burden because I'm not going to share my feelings with my significant other or with others in my life, and I'm just going to keep going. And this is saying you have a beautiful opportunity that if you can get to this place of emotional maturity, really speak to feeling your emotions, honoring them, but seeing them from a perspective of how you can now utilize them in your current environment to better connect you on an emotional level to what you're passionate about, to what you're yearning for what is that missing piece in your experience right now that you really want to experience? And here's that Ace of Cups, you're being granted that. This reconnection to love. This is truly the wellspring of unconditional love. It's the source of everything. I look at it as the source of love for ourselves, love for the divine, and then just that fresh start of being able to water everything that we want to plant in our experience. And there is that opportunity this week, Aries, to really get to that place. I really get to the fresh start place on an emotional level. With the moon coming in, this is what Spirit's asking you to embrace, which is beautiful. The moon is a lack of clarity. It's one where we feel drawn towards something, kind of like when you think of the full moon pulling the tides. We feel that pull intuitively, but we also can't quite see where we're being pulled to. And we have to just realize that as we move out of a comfort zone, because that's what the moon speaks to as well, being pulled out of a comfort zone into a new, I like to say it as an adventure, that we have faith, we trust ourselves. And the King of Cups, there's no better person to do that than the King of Cups, because he is so in tune with his emotions, which are directly tied to the moon, that you he can follow his intuition to guide his way through what is unclear, to guide his way through the kind of the murky darkness of night. And I think for many of you, there is this feeling now of a call to the new, being pulled up out of a comfort zone, and you're kind of just going to have to walk this path on faith. And yes, we have Queen of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So the opportunity lies here for many of you to reframe your personal story. The Queen of Swords speaks to, she understands all the things she's gone through. She understands what she's been through, what she's capable of, because she sees the lessons learned and all of the obstacles she has been through up to this point. She also shares it. She communicates it with others. She communicates from that place of understanding of who she is. Now, we always have the opportunity to share from a place with the Queen of Swords. The shadow side to the Queen of Swords is sharing from a place of kind of this jaded perspective of, well, because it didn't turn out well for me, or whatever happened to me must be the truth for everybody who goes through the same experience. So just because I was wounded in love multiple times, well, then everybody will be wounded in love. Just because I got burned out working in a corporate office, well, the corporate world is not good for anybody. Now it can be the opposite. We're in the best part of the Queen of Swords energy. We get to tell our story from a place of what did not take us down, what only made us stronger. And we get to tell people about our strengths. We get to tell people about the stories that we've gone through, but how it made us that much stronger. The Queen of Swords can be someone who is that motivational speaker. She knows what she's gone through, but she's going to share it in a way that teaches others the lessons she's learned and the why. The why should others know your story? Because if you can get to that place of really understanding how strong you are, seeing and hearing your own story from yourself in a way that's very empowering, you're going to get a chance to see the Eight of Cups. This is your opportunity. And it may not sound like an opportunity, but the opportunity is that you get to walk away from something that has long not been emotionally fulfilling for you. The Eight of Cups speaks to something where we have poured from our cup time and time again into something, and it just hasn't kind of reaped its return on its investment as far as bringing us to that feeling of the Nine and the Ten of Cups, that beautiful connection to, wow, I feel good about emotionally connecting to whatever this is. Now, this could be to a relationship. For some of you, there may be a relationship that needs to be walked away from here. And that may be the comfort zone you're being called up to face. For some of you, this is literally just letting go of something that maybe you were long passionate about. Realizing that we can follow what we love, but it doesn't have to feel like a struggle. That if we are passionate about the work we do, well, we don't have to sit there and only do it ourselves. Being in the workplace and we feel we have to bear the burden of all the work. Or we feel good to bear the burden of the hobby that we have. This can be where suddenly, you reconnect to that time when you used to love to write. And that's why you started your career path. But now you realize that you're so burned out because of writing every day, and maybe the work that you do makes you do writing that doesn't artistically challenge you or something like that. And now it's time to really get into that place of honoring what you feel. And remembering that there was a time I used to love this. And there was a time when I made a heart's wish that what I do or this individual was going to be a part of my happy family, my Ten of Cups. And this is getting to that place of realizing, getting back to that individual cup, getting back to your cup, refreshing your connection to love, refreshing your connection to the love of yourself, getting ready to be called up. Can you walk this path on faith? Yes, you can. And you know that there's something now that is no longer emotionally fulfilling, and it's time to walk away from that. And we have the Nine of Cups and the Six of Wands. So I'm pulling some clarifiers here. So with the King of Cups, Six of Wands, and the Nine of Cups, here's that Nine of Cups. This is saying that there's a wish around this King of Cups energy, and it's saying that you're going to be successful. So maybe this wish is, if this is an individual, to reconnect with them on a much deeper level. And this is going to say, yes, you will be successful in that. Or this can say that, if this is just the energy of yourself, that if you can get to this place of honoring your emotions, you're getting to a place of honoring that wish within your heart. This could be like, I just really want, everything in my life is wonderful, except I want that fulfilling career where I feel like I'm of service to others. And it's saying, well, then honor this spiritual part of yourself. The King of Cups can be seen as the spiritual advisor. Some of you may actually be looking to go into a profession that connects you directly to your intuition or allows you to work from maybe a place of creativity that is highly inspired. But there is something here that speaks to, if you can embody this energy, embody the honoring of your emotions, having emotional maturity as well to be able to take action from that place, you're going to be able to successfully bring in that 10th cup. But there is going to have to be a burden put down at some point. There's going to be this admittance. And I think that's where this clarity comes from, of as you kind of work through this process, you honor your emotions, you get connected again to your cup and what you honor about yourself. And you feel that call and you say, I can walk through change. I can free myself through change. I know what I'm capable of, Queen of Swords. I know what I've been through and I know I can go through this. Then it's going to say, well, then I need to let something go. I can realize now, in honoring of my emotions, what no longer is serving me. And we have the Hermit and the Page of Coins for the cup. For many of you, you've been going within to find this cup, to find the star, to find what makes you special and unique, and how can you bring that out and shine that light for others to see. I think for many of you, you've done that. You've done that soul searching. And the Page of Coins speaks to now bringing that out in the physical and being curious as to what you can do with that. This can be like bringing out, a past talent. This can be taking a little gift of maybe seed money and going out there and saying, you know what? Now that I've reconnected to something within myself, a dream, a part of myself I've, forgot about or realized it's part of my wish for my future self, I'm going to go out there and start to share that and see, where can I plant this? What can I do with this part of myself? What can I do with this new part of my experience? And how can I nurture it with the Ace of Cups, with the love I have for myself and for others? The Ace of Cups is also a very receptive energy. When you're thinking about it, it's just an open chalice. And it's really getting to that place of true vulnerability in love. So we have the Fountain and we have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's the Eight of Cups again. And with the Fountain, this is saying, the Fountain to me keeps coming up in readings when I'm using this clarifier deck. It's funny, it didn't come out for weeks and weeks and weeks, and suddenly now in almost every reading it's coming out, because this is that reminder that the universe, the mystery of life beyond what we know, is infinite. The fountain, the wellspring of where everything has come from in our experience, is kind of that magical source. We don't know how something came from nothing. We will never be able to truly understand that. But this is that reminder that there's so much beyond our experience, and so much beyond just our experience even to date, that this is saying, don't worry about what you're walking away from in believing that there's not more to come. This is say, get really comfortable with the mystery. That's what the moon asks us to do, to have that faith that literally almost anything is possible. And now where can you, in getting into this place of deep faith, connection to your intuition, connection to your emotions, connection to love, where can you walk away from something that's no longer fulfilling with the full belief that something greater is going to be created for you? And it will be uniquely for you. It will be that heaven on earth that is uniquely being wished for in your heart. And I think for many of us, that's what we don't understand, is we can sometimes get to this place of being a little too realistic, where we sit there and we're like, but no, even though I want that dream, there's no way that can happen. There's no way. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I don't live in the right place. I don't have the right connections. And yet somehow it can come to be. I'm a massive believer that the more we take action on our own behalf with faith, that it will come to pass. It does. And we get help along the way. And that's the beauty of it. And my own life is a testament to that. So We have the King of Swords and we have the King of Coins. Very interesting. This is really getting clear on the truth. The King of Swords is Aquarian energy, but it's also the energy of knowing what you know. This is being very honest with yourself, of really taking into account all that you've been through, all the knowledge you've acquired, and really being firm in how you want to wield that in your everyday life. The King of Coins says you can actually utilize what you know to master something in the physical. The King of Coins is someone, the King of Pentacles is someone who knows their time, what their time and energy is worth. They know how to apply it. This would be a master prioritizer. This would be someone who is able to come in and, move into a house and have it beautifully decorated in less than a week. This is the individual who knows how to manage their finances. This can be the business owner. And I think for many of you, there's this realization of how you can practically apply what you know to your physical experience. There may be even a realization for some of you of a business idea that you can have now. And maybe that's what you're being called up to do. Maybe you're being called up to change a career path, change, again, how you're interacting with what you love or with who you love. Okay, so let's see here. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. I love that. And the Hanged Man. Yeah, Hanged Man speaks to a change in perspective. A change in perspective that often asks us for a sacrifice. That says, you get this beautiful change in perspective that comes from the divine so you can see a new way forward. You can see a new opportunity, Wheel of Fortune. But this does mean that we might have to leave something behind, which is the Eight of Cups. We might have to leave the home we've lived in for our entire lives. We might have to leave a career path or a job that we've been working in for a long period of time. We might have to leave even a way of life that we have long held for ourselves. But this is saying that you can change your perspective to see this as an opportunity to move deeper into the mystery of literally bringing a piece of heaven on earth down for yourself. And possibly, again, there could be a business idea. There could be some growth here, even with partnership with someone else who embodies this energy. But there's something here that really speaks just intuitively of saying you can do it again. You can build it better. And it's okay to walk away from something that doesn't emotionally. It's okay to honor your emotions. That's really what's coming through here. And that you will have success if you honor your emotions and lean into your heart. And when we think about coming out of this Leo full moon here, we just had that. So, this is about whatever you kind of maybe over this weekend of really, or leading up to this weekend and then moving into this week, whatever has been kind of coming through for you guys. As far as just when you tap into your heart space, what is that dream within your heart? And how is it shining light now on something that just isn't working for you? And this Ace of Swords is that kind of aha, that clarity of, if I just walk away from this, all of a sudden my whole world opens up. If I just put down the burden of whatever the Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands is. If I can put down, for some of you, this is putting down associating love with struggle. That if I love something, I'm going to have to struggle for it. Sometimes it can just effortlessly come in. Sometimes relationships don't have to be that difficult. If we learn how to share from our place of emotion and learn how to share the load with others, if that makes sense. Sometimes we can just have a hobby that we love and we don't have to take it to that next level. We don't have to take it to kind of an obsessive point. We can just love for the sake of loving it. And sometimes, this could be for some of you, you might have maybe long been working on something that was you were once passionately tied to. Maybe you were working on writing that great novel, or you were working on building that beautiful home, or you were working on building that business. And to start, you loved it. This is what you wanted to do. But then it became a burden. It became too much. You had to take it all on yourself. And this is saying it's time to get back to And you might have to walk away from that. You might have to walk away from the home that you spent all that time and energy, because maybe now it's too big to maintain. Or maybe, I love it. Yeah, surrender to trust. Or maybe you have to walk away from that individual because it's just gotten, or walk away again from the belief that being in love is a struggle. Or it's time to walk away from, maybe you were writing a book or focused on this business, but it's saying maybe there's a different way now. Maybe if you just get back to the simple joy of why you started to write in the first place, a new inspiration might come in. Or, and that's the wheel of fortune, a new opportunity. Or it could be that, for those of you at a business, it might be the same thing, that maybe you have to take a step back. Maybe you have to see if you can bring somebody on. Maybe you can see how you can change it to not feel so much like a burden. But there's something that we might just, again, the Hangman speaks to a sacrifice. So you might have to sacrifice, again, something you've long worked on, a relationship, a home, a hobby, a passion project. But what it will usher in for you is going to be something new, something tied to a dream within your heart that you will be successful for. And this is saying surrender to trust. It says, trust yourself in your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. Yeah, this is the heart of your reading, is the moon coming in. Again, what Spirit's asking you to embrace with the Eight of Cups and the Fountain. This is saying, have faith to walk away from something and knowing that there is so much more out there, that there is mystery and miracles waiting to come together for you. And it could bring, actually, no, I'm going to use a different clarifier deck here for you guys. I'm feeling that. So let's see if there's a final message that wants to come in for you guys here. But it could bring in, again, a new opportunity. Oh, yeah, Two of Pentacles and the Empress. Yeah, it's could bring in definitely a new opportunity. The Two of Pentacles speaks to the changing or the reevaluation of your daily routine. This is an individual who's juggling two things that she needs to do and is kind of making that decision as to prioritizing your time towards what do you want to work with. Because we also have the Empress. This is saying, what do you want to give birth to in your experience? Is it a new passion project? Is it a different way of being in your life? Is it actually pregnancy? Do you want to have a child? But this is saying surrender to your decision and where you prioritize your time. And really look at how you can start to give yourself more time by not carrying the burden of whatever this was, to start to get into a place of creation. Empress is co-creation. She simply knows that she can give birth. This is true creativity at its essence. And she doesn't outwardly push, meaning she's not out there every day trying to make something happen like this guy. She's inwardly creating. She's inwardly manifesting. So for many of you, this is just simply looking at where can you start to change what you do in the physical to start to correlate to what you want to give birth to in your experience. Beautiful, beautiful energy, Aries. I hope you all have a wonderfully illuminating week ahead. I hope you really get into your feels and that heart-centered space, and that you really look at where you're being asked to walk away from something and have faith that it's for your own best interest and that there's something so much more magical coming in for you. Surrender to trust, faith. All right, I'll leave it there. For anyone who is interested in booking a personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website to view my list of services. Otherwise, I will see you all next week in your next Illumination reading. Bye, Aries.